Good evening, ghosts and ghouls. I, Miss Jen, and Tulip would like to invite you on a journey to find the origins of Halloween, trick-or-treating, and why we carve the pumpkins. So please join us if you dare. Okay, Tulip, you're right. We need to start this in the dark, so trying to find the origins of Halloween. So which way do we go? Into the light? I don't think so. I think we need to go into the dark. Way, way back, over 2,000 years ago. Not to Transylvania, but through history. And to the land of the Celts. And the Celts occupied mainly Ireland, parts of Great Britain, and northern France. Now the Celts were great warriors, they were farmers, and they were pagans. And at the end of October, at the end of their harvest, they would have a feast. This was their new year, and they celebrated. This feast was called Samhain, the time between the times, or their New Year's Day. Now at this time, they believed that the spiritual world and the natural world, the line between the two, was at its thinnest. That spirits could easily cross over into the natural world, causing havoc and just possibly even destroying their crops. So what they would do is they would build these huge bonfires, and they would dress up in animal clothing and other disguises in order to fool the spirits into thinking that they too were spirits, in the hopes that they would not cause any havoc or destroy anything. They also left out food for the spirits in order to appease them. They might leave out some corn or other fruits and vegetables as kind of a sacrifice to them. Now, the Catholics, non-pagans, did not like this practice, but instead of abolishing it, what they did was they stuck one of their own spiritual days right after it, and this day was All Saints' Day, and this happened on November 1st. And in Old English, this was called HALLOWMAS, and the day before, October 31st, was called HALLOWMAS Eve, or later it became Halloween. Now in England, on All Saints' Day, people would dress up and often sing or beg for food. And what they would receive often were these soul cakes. And they were given these with the promise that they would pray for the souls of their dearly departed. Now, in the early 1900s, there was a big immigration from Ireland, mainly due to the potato famine. And when they came over to the United States, they brought over their traditions. And they brought in this tradition of Samhain. Now, along with this tradition came trickery. And often the boys would steal gates from front yards. They might tip over an outhouse. Or they may even tease animals. They may scare people away with their lights and lanterns. Now they would often put on costumes or hoods so that people would not recognize them when they did their tricks. So the shopkeepers were getting angry with all this. So they went into the community and say, why don't we give these kids some treats so they won't trick us? And so trick-or-treating began. It started as a bribe so that kids would not cause any damage within the neighborhood. So please, no tricks when you ask for a treat. Now what about this jack-o'-lantern? Well, the tale goes that there was a very evil man named Stingy Jack, and when he died, neither heaven nor hell would take him. But the devil gave him an ember, which he put inside a turnip, and allowed Jack to walk the earth with his turnip lantern. So the kids started to carve scary faces in turnips. They would light them up on Halloween in the hopes that Stingy Jack would not come and cause havoc in their neighborhood. Now, when they came to America, there was plenty of these pumpkins, which were bigger and easier to carve. So they decided, let's use pumpkins to make these evil faces. So the Jack-o'-lantern was born. And we put these lights inside in order to scare off Stingy Jack. So I hope you all have a great and happy Halloween. And please remember to travel in packs, because you never know whose house you're going to. Be safe, everyone.